everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Huffoto Presents. This is our third episode of the podcast, and today I have with me Melissa and Jason Exum of Superhero Day here in McNairy County. How y'all doing?
Good, pretty good.
All right. Well, for those out there that are not familiar with Superhero Day, we do it the last Saturday, right? Every April.
Yes.
And it's raises awareness for our local Carl Perkins Center here in McNairy County. And they do a lot to support our kids and families here that are victims of abuse. And sadly, we need them. You know, it's something I wish that we could do without, but we can't. And but this day is all about fun. And man, do the kids love it. How many years you guys been doing this?
What is this? Not counting the COVID years, this will be
8.
That's what I was thinking. 8th year.
That's going to rewrite history now. We don't count the COVID years and so many things.
Yeah, kind of hard to have a bunch of kids all together when they're spreading the COVID.
Yeah.
We had to take a couple years off there.
So it's what, 6? 6 years?
No, this will be 8.
8 years.
It would have been 10 with the COVID years.
I got
so
you.
this
So
is
8
our
years.
8th. This will be our 8th event.
Wow, that's amazing. So we have it up at the Selmer Community Center, up on was it 5th Avenue? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I know I had a blast. Last year's the first time we actually set up our studio setup, which was super fun. I want to do that again.
Absolutely. It was amazing.
Every time I looked over, there was just more and more people getting in the line. I'm like, all right, we're going to have to come up with something for them to do while they're in the line. So.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't think about that. And one of the reasons why we're wanting to have this podcast today is we need help.
Yes. The more the merrier.
So, what all is there a theme this year? I know the last year was kind of Harry Potter-esque. Not as heavily Harry Potter, I guess, as the year before.
Last year we tried to focus a little more on Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, the year before was Harry Potter. This year we're gonna kind of transform back and focus on our superheroes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Last year we had the Mandalorian mercs. They came in and hit a home run. They developed and built a bunch of set pieces to make it feel more like you're on the Mando show.
Those set pieces were really cool.
They were fantastic. And I think they were looking at making some more. And I still need to finish up. I have a Gonk droid that I'm making and kind of stuff. And I'm going to flesh out. I don't know if you saw it, but we had a robot racing area last year.
I didn't. Oh, yeah, with the little droids. Yeah.
And so we still got the droids. We're looking at adding to those. But I'm going to make it bigger and more like trying to come up with different scenes from different movies using boxes and things painted. But this year we're really going to try to emphasize the superheroes. They're the ones who started this off. Got the Arkham Asylum. I'm finally going to get finished. So you get a cool picture with Batman putting you in jail or you breaking out. More games, more things that go along with the superhero genre to kind of put those guys back in the spotlight this year, ladies. So.
Yeah, the superheroes, I guess that makes sense that they were really the key focus of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I met a person at CorinthCon and they were questioning some stuff about they weren't sure who was going to be there this year about as far as Batman or Superman. And I know you've had some changes.
We have our original guys, Adam and Shannon Prince, that did Batman and Wonder Woman starting out from us. They have moved to East Tennessee. So it's just a little bit of a trip for them to be able to make. Last year, we had James Fike out of Memphis that did our Batman, and he brought his Batmobile.
The Bluff City Batman.
Okay, yeah. I got to see that at MCX. Last year, and
he has
that thing's
a
awesome.
Batmobile, and he brought it last year, and we're hoping to bring it back this year. It was talk about a crowd pleaser. Everybody went kind of crazy over it. So we're James is supposed to be back as Batman.
I think Chris Jowers is going to be back as Joker. So
Yeah,
we'll have a little
he was an awesome Joker for us.
play there.
Cap, we got should have the 2 caps back again this year. We have our local guy from Henderson, who does a great job, and our OG captain Tim from Nashville. He supposed to be back again. He says, unless something crazy happens, he's always going to be there, and he's been there for us pretty much since him and Shannon and them from the very beginning. He's always been there for us. Who else do we have on tap that we know?
I think Sarah and Dylan Scott are coming from Memphis. Sarah's going to do Wonder Woman. Dylan did Darth Vader for us last year, but I think he's doing something different this year. I'm not sure which cosplay he's bringing yet, but I'm sure he'll be there. Trinity, of course, will be back as Catwoman.
Right.
Yay. And Ebony. We've got so many really good local people that are popping up and helping out, and always appreciate those guys. Jonathan with his Wolverine's always a pretty funny one, especially when you can get a hold of a hot dog.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
I know we got some of the 501st coming, some
Yes,
stormtroopers.
501st is back in. The Mandos and the 501st, like, I'll go ahead and put in their stuff on their website, but that's just formality. They, like, every time I see them, they talk about this is like one of their favorite things for the year. So they're obviously going to be here. And so it's always great to have some stormtroopers and Mandos walking around, and bounty hunters and everything else. And the last time I was talking to the Mandos, we may have to come up with their jail system. They'll go arrest people and put them in jail. It's part of being a Mando. So you got to, get your way out of jail. I think that'd be kind of fun especially if we can pick who gets to get put in jail for a while.
That would be, I know that's a big crowd pleaser at MCX every year in Memphis. People really get into that. I was arrested once.
Really good photo ops while you're in
there.
Too, so.
That's the only time I've ever been in jail.
We hope it stays that way.
Yeah. So far, so good.
But we have, the usual suspects will be there, and we're always talking and trying to get more and more cosplayers involved. And I got a Hook on the line here. I'm trying to talk to them, get them to come down. It's The Finest. It's a G.I. Joe cosplay group.
Oh, cool.
Like the 501st is, stormtroopers, the Mandos are Mandalorians. These people are all over the world.
Right.
And they primarily stick with the G.I. Joe theme, the comics, the toys, the cartoons. And I'm in contact with the group from Kentucky, Tennessee, and they're trying to get some feelers out and see who all will want to come. So it'll be the first time we've had the G.I. Joe group. And they set up the toys.
That would be so
they
cool.
They have like mock-ups of all the toys you used to be able to buy, like the centers and the machine guns. They've even got the vehicles. So some of them can bring those, and so it's pretty neat. I'm hoping we can get
that would be really
a few
cool.
of them interested in coming down, and of course we got the Ghostbusters. We got our local chapter, and those guys, ladies, kick butt, and
they're awesome. I saw them at Corinth, and they're usually. It's hard to go to a convention where they're not at. I mean, they work really hard getting out there and
absolutely
getting all their information and stuff out there about what's going on. So
and our local ones are big supporters of the Superhero Day event itself. And when you buy one of their patches, they donate some money back to help us put on Superhero Day.
They were autographing photos that we made at Superhero Day last year at Corinth Con, and they had neon green paint pens, and it looked so good.
Oh, I bet.
And I was like, y'all have to sign one of these for me to frame and put on my studio wall.
Absolutely.
I want one. It looked so good. The bright green just really, looked like slime. It was perfect.
I can imagine. And of course, the DeSoto County Ghostbusters, we have some of them that usually come down too. So.
Okay. Are y'all doing the trading card thing again this year?
We are.
Okay.
I think we may explore your
Okay.
magazine to
Okay.
steal
I
some.
talked to the Ghostbusters I talked to one of them about we need to do one for them and put their stats on the back, like how many ghosts they've busted
that
and
would
all
be
this
awesome.
kind
That
of
would be
stuff. How
awesome.
many chandeliers they've knocked down.
But yeah, we usually do 5 of the safety cards, I guess, as we've been calling them, that we
Right.
can hand out to kids to get something in their hands.
So what's on those cards? That's the emergency number and
It is. It's the emergency number. It's the child abuse hotline number where anybody can call if they need to report abuse of a child, or
right.
if the child themselves can actually reach out
Right.
too. And those cards have really I've had a lot of kids hold on to those, and a couple of them use them when they needed them. So.
Mm.
We're thankful that we've thought of a way to manage to get that in their hands with something
Right.
that they can take home with them.
Right.
And by doing different ones each year, it kind of rewards the children who,
Yeah, they
at
collect
this
them.
point, 10 years on, we've had kids grow up that I've seen every year.
Right.
So kind of reward them a little bit with something different that you can, collect and keep, and maybe, good memories, and you'll never have to use it for that particular purpose.
Right.
Still have something to look back on, and, I remember this person. And we've always, from day one, tried to, and it's something the cosplayers always mention about signing things as part of giving out the free comic books and things, is
Right.
so the people, and we gear them to who's going to be there so they can get them to sign it. And that's something that they can keep on to and look at and look back and remember, this is the day I met Batman, and, this is the day, Deadpool was messing with me. I hit a stormtrooper with a Nerf dart.
Yep.
You kind of create those core memories. And speaking of people who's going to be there, I talked to him yesterday. We had a yes. I was in the talks yesterday. We had a field trip at my school I teach at, and it was a bunch of different people around Jackson, and they were showing the kids employment opportunities and things like that.
Right.
But I was able to run into the new Rockabilly's owner
Okay.
in Jackson, the new ball club, and
I forgot that's what they're going to be called.
the Rockabilly's. And that was we started talking, and I was like, well, we put on this children's benefit down in Selmer in the end of April. Would you be interested? And not only is he interested, he's like, well, can I bring the mascot? It's like, I can do you one better. Make sure you bring your mascot. 'Cause we're going to have real goats there. And you can get a picture with your mascot with real goats. And he's
That's
like,
funny.
oh, I'm so there. And he gave us some free tickets and a bunch of other
Nice.
stuff.
Nice.
So
That's
the
cool.
Rockabilly's are going to be there with their mascot, and supposed to be passing out free tickets and
Sweet.
things like
Okay.
that. So, hey, it's anything want to help out the locals, it helps us out.
Right.
So win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
And
And that's the whole thing about this event. It's so community oriented, and it's all about the kids, 100% about the kids. And it's just so much fun. And one of the things that we always do is we have our crafting days, which we need to set up,
very
and
much so.
we make stuff to give away. Last year we made wands and that were really Harry Potter inspired. Have y'all got any other projects for this year?
I know that we're gonna make some Patronus necklaces, also Harry Potter inspired, where the kids can kind of pick their own Patronus necklace.
Create your own Patronus.
So it's got a bunch of different animal charms that they can use.
Nice.
To
I think we did that last year too.
Yeah, something that they can take home. I'm sure that we're going to have to make a few more ones. I think we gave out 300 last year.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's a big emphasis that we have is, it's your kid's going to come, you and your family, you're going to have fun. It's all going to be free.
Yep.
But it's stuff you can take with you too. Go back to that things that kind of, help. You look back on that wand that, we know you're going to throw it away eventually, but, as long as your kid gets to play with it some and have fun with it, the safety cards, free comic books, prizes, stuff like that. It's part of it. We want everybody to have things, they can take back with them, and you know.
And since this is nonprofit related, if you are a Tennessee Promise scholarship student that needs those hours, you're not going to find a funner way to get those service hours.
Absolutely, because we can always use help setting up the night before. We can use help the day of, because we always have a bunch of different games, different tables where they're picking out their wand or seeing which house they belong to, or shooting Nerf guns at the villain targets, or just lots of things that we can use some help.
One of the 2 petting zoos that we have, and our own animals that we bring. There's so many different things that we need volunteers for, of all ages. But yes, it would be great for even, the Tennessee Promise, they definitely need their hours, but even younger, like high school, middle school kids can always use those hours, because those look great on your school transcript trying to get into a college. I've spent so many years and put in so many hours working with a nonprofit. There's not a school in the world that's going to look unfavorably on that.
Right.
So, we, at every level, we need help, because the more people we have help volunteer, the more that's what's holding us back right now. I mean, we have a million ideas, but it's always knowing we're only going to have X amount of help.
Right.
So
it takes a lot of manpower to really person power to get it.
Yes.
Absolutely. And we've even had adults that came in and volunteered that have put it on their resume, and I've gotten calls from some employers about, hey, did this person work with you? How are they?
Oh wow.
How are they? Can you give us a reference? And so we're happy to.
That's awesome.
To do that if we need to as well.
Yeah, and none of it is it's like you're saying, this is the most fun you're going to have putting in service hours, because none of it's hard. It's all having fun stuff and doing fun things, and helping kids smile and laugh and play, and
it's fun to one day just watching. For me, I love it. Of course, I get to do it more often at the Comic-Cons and stuff. The Comic-Cons, though, become more and more too, though, about adults sometimes than kids. But this one day, watching kids just be kids, because they grow up too fast, and just watch them run around and have a good time. But one day, nothing outside the walls matters. It's superhero time. We're going to run around and have fun.
Absolutely. And they get to see, whoever they've seen on the big screen, and they get to see them up close and personal and interact with them. And then, of course, we always try to have our local superheroes here too, law enforcement, fire department. They're all usually on hand to meet with people and let the kids check out their vehicles and that kind of thing too.
Yeah, I talked to yesterday at the Forestry Service was there, and I was talking to some of them and some of the other places like that, and we need to touch base to see if they'll be able to make it. They have all kinds of really cool demonstration things for the kids. So we've got the space outside. Why not use it? Like last year we had the Ecto and the Batmobile, and we're looking at getting some more vehicles in that middle section in the parking lot. But the police and fire and everybody else on the edge, we got plenty of room. We can add more things like that. And those guys seem to be really on board. There were several different groups, so I'm going to reach out and see if they want to show up and just add more and more cool things for the kids to do, because that's goes along with the local hero theme. You don't think about the people taking care of the forest, but that's why we don't have the big fires around here.
Absolutely,
like a lot of places do, and the ambulance drivers.
And making, I think, something that people probably don't think about is making children aware that when they see a police officer, if they need to approach them, they can approach them.
Absolutely.
And so that breaking down that barrier of them being able to approach them and them be approachable, I think is a very important aspect.
Exactly. And we try to bring in not just the police officers, fire department, several different categories of adults. Here's the people that you might see that you might could go to if you need help. The library, but they were there helping us last year. Big help in the Harry Potter room.
Oh, absolutely!
They had a ball every time I went in there. They looked as happy as the kids. That was great.
Big Hill Pond has been great to bring one of their birds.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
the kids love the hawk, and
That thing did amazingly well. I was freaked out. I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, "This thing's sitting in here. I'm
Well,
just waiting on a Nerf dart to hit it."
he's become a veteran on it. Well, I intentionally moved that on the other
Yeah.
side from him. I'm more worried about him taking the darts and kids shooting them, but yeah, those guys seem to really love bringing him, and he loves. He's been a veteran. He's been there a few times, and I think he likes the attention. If you'll notice, when you get the camera out, he'll start moving, and posing for you a little bit. So get that beak up in the air is pretty funny.
But Pickwick is also going to be there this year. Their state park. We've talked to them, and they're going to coordinate with Big Hill Pond and kind of try to bring different things so that we'll have some other options.
And we try to emphasize the local. We have Andy and her sister. She's Sif and Loki and Hella and the Thor connection. And this year they're coming back and they're going to do the same thing. But we have one of the people from Memphis who's got a Loki gator blow up like the T-Rex costume. That's coming as the big Loki gator.
Funny.
She's going to join in with the Thor crew, so that.
I never could get Loki, one of the Lokis, to break character last year. It hurt my feelings because that's one of my favorite things is started happening at cons is these folks that are really deep in character, and then they'll see their photo on the screen and they break character because they're like, oh wow, and
that's probably Kelly, and she
that's exactly who it is.
Yeah, she does wonderful. She does a great job as Hella.
And I didn't know that was her. I met her at a pageant, and she was like, I was like, that was you.
Yes.
She has the evil stare down.
No,
she has it down.
And that's and Andy's been with us several years now, doing different things, and I think she really likes the Sif getting to play off her sister, and they get to do things together. So
Yeah, I took their family portrait.
family photo time. That's
Well, and speaking of families, we have Donna and
Daryl from Memphis. They bring their daughters, and they happily. I turn over the Potter room to them because that's the greatest Bellatrix.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
I've ever seen. And,
absolutely.
Even been in the Universal a few times and seeing they don't have.
I thumbs up a picture of Bellatrix the other day and then realized it wasn't Donna. I took my thumbs up away.
She is definitely magical in that. And then, that role.
Well, I got to hang out with them at ConWorthCon. Her and Lauren's family got to come. Daryl couldn't make it, but
awesome. Yeah,
they were all there, and
they've been with us for years now, and they do a great job. Daryl's got that really cool Red Guardian. And
yes.
So it's their daughter. Whenever she feels like it, she does an awesome Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and then she's done X-23 for us, and I keep telling her I need to get her to send in the playlist for us because when she put in the playlist, she had Batman and everybody else out there dancing with her. So need to get her involved and get us a good dance playlist for the superheroes.
Well, I think probably Jessica will bring her sound system again this year. That worked out pretty good for us to do announcements on.
It was a big help.
Yes.
I want one of those myself. I just want it. I'm getting old. My music can't get loud enough. Yeah. But that was last year. I think every year I've been involved, it just seems like it goes off every time, just perfect, no matter what, and everybody just has such a good time. So I always look forward to it.
Well, that is months and
but I know how much,
and
that's why we wanted to put a call out today.
Yes, very much so. Any help that we can get.
Do you have an email address they could send an email to, or anything like that, or is there a Facebook page?
There is a Facebook page. It is the Carl Perkins Superhero Day. It's our Facebook page. We use Messenger on there religiously.
I will put the link to that in the show notes.
Perfect.
So and that's another thing. I've been looking at creating a website for us to kind of condense one meeting spot for and just so dang busy with school and
Life happens.
it
Every
happens
day.
every day. So if anybody out there listening would like to give us a hand and knows how to set up a website, hook us up. We'll definitely use yours.
We might be able to manage that.
But yeah, every year we try to add more and make it bigger and better. So that takes a lot of planning. And,
Right.
like you said, we need to get started on our meetups and hang out so we can get stuff done and just to hang out. That's one of the fun things about it.
Yeah, no, we all just get to hang out and do arts and crafts and
nerd out a little bit.
Yes.
Always talk about fun stuff and bounce ideas. And if anybody listening has an idea that would help, they think
keyword that would help.
That would help. Yes. Send us a message on Facebook. We always contain constructive criticism, things that can help.
Right.
It's always welcome. And
absolutely. I mean, we've been doing this 10 years, but we always need new input. People
New
have
ideas.
different
Oh
ideas.
yeah. I mean, you're always learning. You'll always learn from the last one, something that never happened the other 9.
Exactly. And we've got a good group of cosplayers. I think the first time we had 6?
6, yes.
Wow.
Last year I counted 54. I think.
Wow.
So.
And not saying if you've not been and you cosplay, come on. Well, the more the merrier.
Mm-hmm.
More people more people, the more the kids get to see, and it lets us kind of send people out in waves because. We always have the back room for them so they can get away and take off that hot helmet or, grab a snack. And the more people we have, the more we can make sure it stays.
Now, that being said, with your superheroes, is there a need for people to communicate to you guys through that page what they want to come as?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We do try to keep true to character in that we don't want the kids confused about having multiples of the same character.
Unless you're Spider-Man, because by this point, it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah. If it can be explained in a multiverse, we're good with that. Captain America, we usually have 2 or 3 because there are
different versions, different outfits, and different timelines.
Right. But you don't want 2 identical Wonder Womans.
That's correct.
That would be confusing.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
So we do ask people to reach out and let us know who they're cosplaying.
And so many of our cosplayers have so many different outfits that
they can switch
that they
out.
can swap out. So
deal.
if I already do Catwoman, well, reach out to us anyway because I guarantee you, who you may want to be, and that may be all you have. The other people probably have more than one costume, and a lot of them we're kind of that. They get to wear something that they want to wear at a con, but they want to wear their better suit or this particular suit at a con because the cons are so hot.
Mm-hmm.
On ours, since it's a more condensed timeline, they'll wear the big furs. They'll wear the things they normally wouldn't wear to a con. So they don't have a problem, using one of their alternate outfits because they know that they've got a place to rest and that it's not going to be as long a time period. So if you're wearing something and you see it on the pictures from the past, reach out to us anyway. We can work something out. We'll make something work there. So.
Well, that sounds great. Well, I will put the link to the page down in the show notes for everybody to see. And I appreciate you guys coming out today and doing this. Hopefully we'll get the message out there and get some more helpers.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And everybody out there listening, thank y'all for listening, and we will see y'all on the next one.